What is going on, traders? All right, so this is my version. Uh, I would really say that it's probably my interpretation of what Ralph Nelson Elliot was trying to portray. Um, but most definitely, if it wasn't, then this is my contribution to it. At the core of it is Ralph Nelson Elliot, and you want to stick to these wave sequences that you see on your screen here to the T. The counts, and everything right down to the number, right? And one thing that is important here that I feel Elliot probably knew. If he didn't, he was probably extremely frustrated if he were to find out. Is that this is what I'm going to call a completed wave sequence. It's a completed market cycle. It is a completed fractal. All right, so you have this impulse and correction. I would argue that this is a completed fractal. And what do we know about fractals? You can zoom in infinitely, and you can zoom out infinitely, infinitely bigger, infinitely smaller, right? And that brings me to my work here, which we'll go through briefly here. I want to keep this as brief as possible, but everything went to shit here on the weekly chart, but here we go. So one thing to understand about Elliott wave is, yeah, you have the 5 wave move higher, and you can see I have like $1 million Bitcoin shown here, and I've just applied, the biggest wave sequence to it. And everything is fractal, right? So this whole big 5 wave move up, from the point of origin, um, all the way up to the $1 million would be one impulse or a 5 wave sequence, right? Or all of its subwaves. It's one motive wave or one impulse, right? And after that, we expect a correction, an ABC correction that will violate subwaves in here to let you know that that's actually happened. And one other thing to really grasp with waves, though, is with everything being fractal, not only is this whole move an impulse, but so is this, right? From wave 4 to 5 is an impulse. So its subwaves are going to have a 5 wave sequence. This wave 3 to 4 is a correction. Right? And that's literally this right here. Right? From 4 to 5, it's got the 5 wave. From 3 to 4, it's got the ABC. Textbook Ralph Nelson Elliot. Where it differs, and I'll just jump back to the point of origin here. We have a 5 wave sequence. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but we have a 5 wave sequence. Excuse me. We have this 5 wave sequence to begin with, and it puts in its ABC correction, which violates subwaves, which is how I know that this is the first valid proper 5 wave sequence and impulse. It puts in 5 wave move up and an ABC correction. That is one complete market cycle. That is one complete fractal. As you can see, I've labeled it here, fractal shift. When price comes up to this range, let's jump down to the daily. It's a little easier to see. It's most definitely easier to see when you get lower in time frames, but even from the daily here, you can see after we put in this first impulse up and that correction back down, as we're coming back up, you get very distinct behavior that goes on, sometimes before it, sometimes in this case right into it, right? But it's not going to happen after. You're going to see this before you reach the new high, right? Or before the market grows, it gets to a larger fractal. The market's not getting smaller. We're not zooming in. We got to zoom out to see more. You will see this kind of a behavior go on. It's just a quick whipsaw. Price was up here, and boom! It all of a sudden it's like opening down here, right? You will see this every time, and that shows you that the market's growing. And what does that do? It creates a larger fractal. Thus then this is a 1 2, here's the 3 4 5 and a larger fractal, right? We get our nice clean ABC correction, which violates subwaves here. Um, and then we're expecting, okay, are we going to go higher? Sure enough, we put in that little wishy-washy, the fractal shift that I'm calling it, behavior here, just previous to it. And we're gone. So what does that do? That makes this a 1, 2, and we're expecting a larger fractal 5-wave sequence or an impulse to complete. It will complete. And here we get that. And honestly, this right here is probably the hardest part of the system, which is not that hard and really not even relevant. You can wait until after to be able to know when it is determining this particular correction. Which, you can just get burned by trades in here, which will suck. But we're expecting that higher 5-wave sequence. We get it. Boom. Then what do we get? We get another correction. Are we going to get that higher move up? Well, as we start pushing the fractal shift, this is where it just gets really interesting. This is if you're starting maybe already get an eye for it. I know I am. My waves that I have labeled or marking it. There's the fractal shift. Quick, fast move that happens immediately. But as a wave trader, this will make you throw out trading waves. This is what makes people say waves are garbage. It never happens. You're never going to get the count right. All this stuff. It's because this is, through standard textbook Elliot, this is the ABC correction. You're expecting a 5-wave move. Or even if you're, a lot of wave traders are not that deep with it. They're not going to be clocking everything. And they'll just be clocking right here, which is fine for wave trading. It's really not bad to do that, where they're just saying, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're expecting a finish up here. And after that finish, they're expecting the market to come down here, right? They're expecting, after this 5-wave sequence here, expecting this market to at least come down and violate wave 4. At very least. If not, be a downward trending market afterwards. It doesn't happen. It's a fractal shift. If it was going to go down, we would not get back up here. And it shifts higher. And so what does that make this? A 1, 2, 3. Boom. Big old 3, 4, 5. And the shifts just keep happening, and they keep going, and every single wave count, it's all there. It's all there, down to the minute chart. And here we are in real time, where you can see we've got the ABC correction. We've expected this to be a completed 5-wave sequence. This would be wave 1. We get the 2, textbook ABC, and then we're saying, okay, and it's in this kind of a point here where the market could drop. It could. And as far as my rules go, this would be the break point. The market should not be coming up here if it's going to start going back down. It would probably kind of sweep the liquidity or stops here, ping this kind of a thing, and this kind of a resistance would hold, and we would drop. It doesn't happen though. We clear up, we violate subwaves in here, we put in a textbook fractal shift, which we can't even see it here on the daily. Have to go to if you go to the 4-hour, we can see one candle there. Look at it, big wick. If we go lower, we've got the hourly chart. You still can't see any waves there. It's just a big bit, you would say, volatility. There's a news driver or something, right? It's not until we get down to like the 15-minute chart where we can see an ABC coming in short, hot, and fast and sweet. Violates a subwave, 5 waves here, violates wave 4, the subwave, and we rally from here. And now this is where most traders will throw it out, right? They see there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the subwaves are there, perfect. So they get short, or even the most patient of wave traders like myself, I had where I would eventually discipline myself to only wait for these setups, and I would short on this kind of a thing, or if I was lucky I'd get in over here, even over here. But eventually you're done. you're done. This move right in here, you're done. Um, and it's this fractal shift that finishes, but it's only viewable on the intraday, and it finishes a weekly, daily wave structure, right? If we come to the daily here in real time, we have our ABC, and what do we have? We have um, all the subwaves, of course, but we have ultimately a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're saying, okay, where is 5 completing? Especially if you think Bitcoin's going to drop, you're shorting around here. If you're a good wave trader, you're going to drop lower. You're going to say, okay, there was my 3, 4. I need 5 wave sequence up here on the intraday, 4 hour. There it is. It's right here. This is your short. You say, okay, well, I'm a really good wave trader, so I'm going to go down another fractal, and I'm going to wait for everything to line up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. All right, I'm getting short. The daily, the 4 hour, the weekly, basically the daily, the 4 hour, and the hourly are all in line. I'm shorting this market, and I'm patient. I wait for it to come back up, and what happens? It's done, because what it's done is it's completed. Let me just get rid of this garbage here. It's completed a weekly, daily. Plot this out again. It's completed this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 is literally that 15-minute spike. And what happens after a 5-wave sequence, right? What is a 5-wave sequence? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it's also a 1, isn't it? It's a 1, 2, and here comes 3. Alright, we're going to grow. This market's growing, so that is our 1, 2. And I kind of got to zoom way out here just to be able to see everything. We got this 1, 2, 3, which I've arbitrarily plotted here at like 260k, 4, which will be violating these subwaves here, and 5 higher, right? That 5 higher would also make a 1, 2. It goes on infinitely until it's not. Right? And until it's not, you're going to see violations in here. You're going to see these levels hold, and these subwaves will start to get violated to the downside. If this market's going to eventually start dropping, you're going to see proper completed 5-wave sequences here, and it's going to start dropping. It doesn't though. But this is what will this will change the way you view waves entirely. This is my fractal shift trading strategy. I hope it's helpful for people. I hope you guys like it. It's really made me take a step back and look at the markets from a different perspective. But I digress. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Stay safe. Happy trading. Peace.